What a hat-trick from Gabriel Jesus. And do you know what? Fair play. I have criticised this guy beyond belief. And all three finishes tonight, ridiculous. The third one especially is disgusting. Martin Odegaard comes off the bench, changes the game. The third pass, doesn't matter how good your back line is, right? Yes, he's running for on goal, but the accuracy to put it into his path. The second pass as well, absolute joke. And Arsenal showed a lot of mentality tonight and a lot of grit. You're 1-0 down against a physical Crystal Palace side that, let's be honest, basically played their strongest 11. Arsenal made a number of changes. Kieran Tierney comes in for the first time in 18 months. Wanyeri started. Sterling started the game for the first time in 6 weeks. Jesus, again, relied on by his manager up front. Thomas Partey at right back. We're going to get into all of it. Make sure you go down. Make sure you smash that like button if you're enjoying the content. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We are steamrolling our way towards 40,000 subscribers. So your subscription will be greatly appreciated. We're under 600 away now from 34,000. As soon as the Liverpool game finishes, got it on in the background. We will be reacting to that as well. And then tomorrow night, of course, is the big one. It is Spurs against Manchester United. I've actually got a good feeling about that game. Really good feeling. We'll get through the lineups. We'll get through the talking points. The offside goal. I know a lot of that's going to be a big talking point of a lot of rival fans. Should the Gabriel Jesus' second goal have counted? But it is what it is. You know, there's no VAR. You have to blame that on the officials. The lineup was David Raya, Thomas Partey, Timber, Kivior, and Tierney. The only player predominantly in an Arsenal back four is obviously Timber. Mate, the guy can play anywhere. Like, I reckon you could even play him in DM in some games. He's played left back for Arsenal. He's played right back for Arsenal. He can tuck in as a centre back as well and do a very good job. Wanyeri obviously got a start. You know, didn't do a huge amount. Not gonna lie. Jorginho, you know, in there for that, trying to control the game. Mikel Merino, of course, no Odegaard or Declan Rice started, and obviously Partey was at right back. Raheem Sterling, like I said, first start for around 6 weeks. Gabriel Jesus, the man who scored all 3 goals, and Leandro Trossard. And fair play to Crystal Palace because they got a really, really good start. A really good start. Jean-Philippe Mateta, who is in unbelievable goal-scoring form under Oliver Glasner. It's a simple punt upfield from Dean Henderson. I don't know what Kivior's doing. I'm going to probably blame that goal on him. If he gets ahead to it, Jean-Philippe Mateta is a big guy. He's, 6'3", 6'4", strong as an ox. Just kind of holds him off, runs for on goal, and eventually scores. And Crystal Palace get the perfect start. And that was like the main highlight of the first half. You know, Raheem Sterling had a free kick. It was a decent save from Dean Henderson. Quite close. It was kind of like a Dimitri Payet sort of technique, just up and over the wall. And that was kind of the main highlight of the first half. And then where Mikel Arteta changed the game is he brought on Martin Odegaard. And as soon as he did that the way Arsenal play when he's on the pitch, it's a completely different Arsenal. You know, he leads the press. He's speaking to the players. The final pass from him normally is very, very good. And we saw that not once, but twice today. And it's the first time I looked at this Arsenal team and thought, it's nowhere near full strength, right? Take nothing away from Crystal Palace. They showed a lot of fight tonight. But the quality from Arsenal in the final third was the difference. But when Odegaard's on it, he's so hard to stop. And fair play, they brought him on at half-time. They also brought on Saliba, put Timber back to right back. And who comes on and sets up Gabriel Jesus? Martin Odegaard. The first finish, really, really good finish. Gets them back in the game. And I'm like, what I didn't get is Oliver Glasner took off Jean-Philippe Mateta for Eddie Nketiah. Now, don't get me wrong, Eddie Nketiah scored. But for me, looking at that Crystal Palace lineup, he also took off Eze for Kamada. Now, Is he potentially thinking about that game against Arsenal at the weekend? I don't really understand. Like, surely if you're Crystal Palace and you haven't won a major honour in God knows how long, you'd roll the dice and go for it. I think every single Crystal Palace fan would rather have won tonight and lost against Arsenal at the weekend. As soon as he took Eze, John Philippe, Mateta off and brought on Kamada and Nketiah, I probably, if I was Oliver Glasner, maybe would have taken off Sarr and gone with Eze and then the two in front of Mateta and Nketiah because they're both aerial threats. And we saw that with Eddie Nketiah's goal. The second goal from Gabriel Jesus, really, really good finish. Another Bukayo Saka assist. What's that? Something like 13, maybe 14 assists this season. Absolutely ridiculous footballer, Bukayo Saka. He comes on as well for Raheem Sterling. I didn't think Raheem Sterling did a huge amount. He did a couple of bit of things on the defensive side of the game, and obviously had that free kick in the first half. But when they brought on Saka, and then he makes an immediate impact within 3 minutes, that was it for me. And the third pass from Martin Odegaard for the third goal, the weighted pass into Gabriel Jesus' path, the finish, proper whips it, wraps his foot round it, decent power into the corner of the net. That was basically it. As soon as they got the second, I thought it was game over. Fair play to Crystal Palace. You know, they kept battling. They kept, playing to the whistle. Nathaniel Klein puts in a good ball, and the header is absolutely ridiculous from Eddie Nketiah, which is what was on around the penalty spot, which is a good, 11, 12 yards header. Good power. David Raya, for me, didn't really stand a chance. And then to kind of see the game out, Arsenal brought on Gabriel Magalhaes, and that was kind of it for me. And, Arsenal need silverware this season. And, tonight was a massive, massive game. You look at the other domestic competition in the FA Cup, they've got a really interesting tie as well. Manchester United at home, and they've not got easy games coming up. They've got Brentford away, Brighton away, Man United in the Cup, as well as Spurs in the Cup. So it's going to be an interesting 3 or 4 weeks from Arteta. He's been heavily criticised in the media by Arsenal fans, by rival fans. People calling him a bottle job. He's not good enough. I look at performances like tonight in the second half is what will rally the troops. You are now through to the semi-final. Now, the semi-final is going to be interesting because if it's a North London derby, we will be there. We will be there to ruin these Gooners' hopes. Trust me, we will be there. But on the balance of things, right now, Arsenal deserve to win tonight. More shots on target, higher possession, more corners, absolutely clinical finishing from Gabriel Jesus. And you look at where Arsenal now are. They've had a bit of an up, down seesaw ride. This result should give Arsenal confidence going into the next month. You look at the fixtures they got coming up. I'm going to bring up these next 6 games because for me, you want to win a league title. You can't, no more draws now. If you want to win a league title, you've got to be consistent. Foot on the floor, foot on the gas, hammer down. Brentford's going to be a very tough start to 2025. The best side at home in the Premier League is Brentford. They'll have, as well, which is worth noting, a semi-final somewhere in here, both legs, because I think the final is in February. So these 6 games coming up, Palace away, not going to be an easy game. Ipswich, I think they'll win comfortably. But the other 4, really tough. But look, if you got Martin Odegaard playing like that, and if Jesus can take that form into some of these league games, because Kai Havertz looks tired, he looks worn out, he looks extremely fatigued. And fair play to Mikel Arteta because he didn't bring him on tonight. So you kind of got a more of a fitter, fresher Havertz going into the Crystal Palace game at the weekend. But look, the way I see it is Arsenal fans should be happy tonight. Yes, it's not the 4 or 5-0 wins that Arsenal fans wanted, but at the end of the day, the most important thing in a cup game is the result. You didn't have to go through to extra time or penalties. One thing I did find interesting is Martinelli was left on the bench. Now, he's been heavily criticised by Arsenal fans, by rival fans, a rival fan, myself included. I've heavily criticised this guy. You know, you think back to that Fulham game. If he times his run better, Arsenal win the game. There's a huge more confidence in the ranks right now because you look at where they are in the Premier League table. And if Liverpool win their game in hand, they are 9 points behind. If Arsenal would have beaten Fulham, they would be level on point. Oh, sorry, they'd be on 32 points right now instead of 30. So the margins are so fine. I think City are out of the race. I think it's now a 3-horse race. I know a lot of people aren't putting Chelsea in there, but I think they are. And you know they're going to spend in January. But look, fair play to Gabriel Jesus. Got so much crap from Arsenal fans recently. And he's gone out there and he has got 3 really good finishes. It's mad to say that he's got a hat-trick in an Arsenal shirt before Bukayo Saka. But look, we are going to wrap up. Make sure you go down and drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed. There'll be Liverpool reaction out shortly after this. And of course, tomorrow night is the big one. Tottenham versus Manchester United, as well as tomorrow as well. I think Chelsea playing the Conference League. So there's a lot of football coming. Make sure you go down and drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. I am out.